Not only is it a new animatronic retrospective, it's a seasonal animatronic retrospective. Welcome to the Christmas special. I love the end of the year. September hits, and I'm ready for Halloween, I'm ready for Christmas, I'm ready for New Year's. The winter solstice is upon us. I take great comfort in the fact that everything eventually ends, and the years end every year, and I get to enjoy its ending, and it's wonderful. My cat banging on the door, do you hear her? She got to choose whether she was in or out, and she is now out. I'm kidding, I let her in. So figuring out what to do for a Christmas special this year, I didn't even have to think on it. I knew exactly what I was going to do. So this is the last video of the year, and I really hope you enjoy it. It all began after World War II. Yes, we have to start that far back. We could have started with the history of Yuletide, but you know, I don't need to tell you what Christmas is. It was September 2nd, 1945. The Second World War was finally over. Returning soldiers caused an influx of families with children, and the wartime advancements in industrial production and technology caused a rise in consumerism. This changed the way Americans celebrated Christmas. If you stop and you picture the perfect, ideal Christmas, you're probably going to be picturing American 1940s Christmas. The films, the decorations, the foods, the music, 1940s, and a little 1950s. This decade of Christmas also came with another staple of the holidays, the North Pole. Not that North Pole. I'm talking about like this North Pole. Meeting Santa, and I don't mean inside of a mall, I mean actually being able to drive to Santa's home at the North Pole, eat treats, meet Mrs. Claus, pet the reindeer, deliver your letter personally. Santa-themed parks popped up everywhere across the nation. I'm positive every state has or had at least one. Except maybe North Dakota. They never get anything. The first of these theme parks opened the year after the war ended in 1946, located in Santa Claus, Indiana. Yes, that's the name of the town, Santa Claus. So making a park there called Santa Claus Land made complete sense. Another named Santa's Workshop opened in Wilmington, New York in 1949. Another called Santa's Village opened in Lakewood, California in 1955. Another in Cascade, Colorado in 1956. Another in East Dundee, Illinois in 1959. The point is, there were a lot of these theme parks, and a lot of them are still open to this day. But there is a specific park that we'll be focusing on this season. It was on Father's Day in 1953, in the thicket of Jefferson, New Hampshire, that a novelty park dubbed Santa's Village opened its doors. Founded by Norman and Cecilia Du Bois. Aren't they cute? Now, it should be noted that their last name is French, and I looked up how to say Cecile in French, and it's Cecile. The tack I have for Santa's Village is a flower, so I'm just gonna pop it. It's gonna be like right here. In their first year, Santa's Village offered pony rides, a mule show, reindeer, and of course, the big man himself. Successful, Santa's Village then expanded with more shops, playgrounds, animals, rides, and restaurants. With each addition, Santa's Village turned into a bona fide amusement park. Well, what a fantastic looking place. I mean, but do you think perhaps they are missing something? It was in the 1970s that Santa's Village wanted something a bit more modern for the park. Everyone in the 70s was impressed with the advancements of audio animatronics, the programmed performers pioneered by the Walt Disney Company at the time. But thankfully, there were yuppies on the outskirts starting their own engineering companies to rival what Imagineers were doing. This is where a company called Creative Engineering comes into play. I'm sure you've never heard of them. Creative Engineering, based in Orlando, Florida, was founded in 1975 by Aaron Fector, who was only 22 years old at the time. He initially used the company to fund his fuel-efficient automobile he invented to combat the energy crisis, eventually moving into the blooming entertainment division of engineering. This direction led Fector to learn the artful mechanisms used to make up live animated characters. Electronimation. Audio electronimation. These creations were exhibited in the 1976 IAAPA convention, leading directly to many contracts for creative engineering. When Santa's Village desired an animatronic show for their 1977 season, they took a chance on the young creative engineering company, who had never before deployed a full multi-charactered animatronic show in its history. Frankly, at the time, no one aside from Walter Elias's company really had. And yet, it was in 1977 that creative engineering delivered. This would make the animatronic show Jingle Bell Jamboree one of the first full-stage animatronic shows ever built, behind Country Bear Jamboree, and beside the portrait show featured at a particular restaurant on May 17, 1977. Now, some of you may think that I missed creative engineering's other 1977 show, which debuted at Magic Park. I didn't. Quick rant to explain why. We all love Friendly Freddy in this house. The Jingle Bell Jamboree, according to its creator, was installed for the 1977 season of Santa's Village, which would have started between May and June. The successful 9-character show had music, it had lights, it had special effects, it had They're here! Do I really have to explain what this animatronic is? Who it is meant to represent? The Jingle Bell Jamboree was hosted by the big man himself, Santa Claus. He says ho at regular intervals and is about as jolly as you'd expect.
I would now like to read to you a wonderful Christmas poem. Would you like that?
No! You know, it's my gut reaction to always say no to stuff like this. It's my inner rebel. Bob the Builder asks, can we make it? It was my job as a 2-year-old to say, no! Santa's design is very sweet. He doesn't look like a human per se, which is good because that would head into uncanny territory. Instead, he's very cartoonish and whimsy. It's a good look. I am going to pick on Santa's voice acting though.
Oh, well, hi there, my little friends.
Sounds more like someone doing a Santa impression than actually being Santa. Sorry, John. Actually, I think all the voices are done by John Cedarberg. He's a very cool cat, but that doesn't mean I have to like every voice he does. The next characters we'll touch on are the 3 on the bottom here. This is the house elf band. The house band. Elf house band. First, we'll start with the elf bass player named...
That's Maynard on bass.
What?
That's Maynard.
Not again.
Maynard.
Maynard is not a name. Maybe it's Maynard? Maynard is a name. Leonard? It's pretty close to Leonard. It's because there's a musical punch right when Santa says the name. We'll call the bass player Leonard for now. This is mainly because that is the most normal name. It's not Maynard. And there's a famous bass player named Leonard Hubbard. And if I know anything about creative engineering and their naming schemes, they always name their characters after famous musicians. Leonard is our best guess. That's Leonard on bass. It has to be Leonard. Leonard on the bass is a cool little man. Sometimes he thinks he's a one-man band. Up next we have the horn player named...
And on that horn plays Satchmo.
Can't do this to me. So the names are just ridiculous jumbles, right? Well, actually, no, I actually know this one. He's saying Satchmo, because guess what famous trumpet player's nickname was Satchmo? I love Mr. Armstrong. They do pronounce Satchmo as Satchmo, though, so I put that E in there, but that's not supposed to be in there, technically. Satchmo is a quiet little elf guy. His feet aren't stapled to the floor, making him appear like he's floating. It looks a little strange. He has mechanisms in his head that make his eyes pop out in time with the trumpet blows. It's pretty gruesome. You just know that over time, that mechanism in particular is going to look disgusting. And then we have our elf on the piano, who pretty much solidifies the naming conventions. That's right, Elfton John, an elf who wears ginormous glasses and plays some hot keys. For some reasons I cannot explain, I think Elfton John is a lady. I know he's not, but like every time I look at this character, I'm like, old grandma playing the piano. Our next animatronic is Rudy. Rudy, not Rudolph. Not the copyrighted Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudy, a crooner. He's wearing an adorable little suit. He's holding the microphone. Something I really love about Rudy's design is the placement of his eyes on the sides of his head, like an actual prey animal. That's a pretty unusual design to see, especially in anthropomorphized animals. We try to make them look more human, we'll move their eyes first. And last but not least, we move on to our showstopper. If you're going along with the elf puns, you already know that this is Elvis, a total rascal. He picks fights with Rudy, he rides a motorcycle, he's the ultimate ladies' man and showstopper. He has a style the others just don't understand or appreciate.
Big Daddy?
Now, Elvis, I'm not Big Daddy. My name is Santa.
Elvis is especially good because of his special effect. I mean it when I say he's the showstopper. He is the oomph in the show. The curtains open to the stage the audience has already seen before, and suddenly there's a new animatronic in the center. It's very clever and accomplished by a trapdoor in the center of the floor. Elvis's appearance is supposed to be the wow factor, and I think he works very well. It's such a simple trick, and really that's all the show needed.
Hey, Raya.
What?
You said that there were 9 animatronic characters, and there's only 6.
I did. How clever of you to notice. There are indeed technically 3 more animatronic characters in the show, which will bring us up to 9 total. 3 animatronics in the form of animals vibe on stage with the elf house band. There's a gray cat that bobs his head alongside Leonard. There's a white rabbit that taps her foot on top of the piano. And finally, there is a brown dog who wags her tail at the base of the piano. The cat especially cracks me up. It has lips and it's so funny looking. In the original concept art, the stage was very different. It included Mrs. Claus and Elvis in theater boxes on both sides of the stage. The 3-stage format was what they eventually went with. I think the changes were for the best, though I would have loved a Mrs. Claus animatronic heckling the show from her theater box. I'll go through the performance and all of its songs in the next section, but you should just know, I would have loved this as a child. You know when you ask a kid what they want to be when they grow up? Yeah, so I wanted to be an elf. I wanted to be an elf so badly, and I do not regret ever wanting that. Think about it. You live at the North Pole, and it's beautiful white snow all the time, reindeer, aurora borealis, and I'm talking gothic timber-framed foshwork. The good stuff. Being able to wear comfy winter clothes all the time and warm drinks every day. Constructing and designing toys? That's awesome! Not to mention, you technically get to work for the nicest person on the planet. And I wanted to be an elf really bad, because I also wanted pointy ears. I was like 6. Hermie was wrong, though I would also love to be a dentist. That would be so cool. Hermie's cool. By 1978, creative engineering's technology had quickly advanced over a single year. In gratitude to Santa's Village for taking a chance on the then unproven capabilities of the engineering company, creative engineering chartered a private plane to New Hampshire in order to completely update the show's systems as a gift. This gave us the 1979 version of the Jingle Bell Jamboree with updated control systems, and that is what we have footage of today. Though it should be noted, the show is the same, and there's really not much different outside of the control systems being changed. It's music time! The 11-minute and 30-second show meant for families to enjoy on their yearly visit to Santa's Village ran a little bit like this. On stage left, Santa does a quick intro and almost reads "'Twas a Night Before Christmas," before being interrupted on center stage by the elf band. After some jazz improv in order to introduce the 3 elves on stage, Santa talks about the energy crisis. Because of course he does, this is a creative engineering show. Before leading to his gas-free way of traveling, his reindeer. We meet Rudy on stage right. He sings a slow, soulful White Christmas. Rudy is interrupted by the late arrival of Elvis, who appears from his trapdoor in the floor, and he sings a very narcissistic version of Blue Christmas.
Christmas without me.
Dang, Elvis! Then, along with the backup vocals of Leonard, Elvis sings a sample of Jingle Bell Rock.
Elvis!
Come on, Rudy, eat your hot girl.
Santa suggests that they all do a sing-along with the audience, picking a song everyone will know. Jingle Bells. They're called the Jingle Bell Jamboree. They can't not sing Jingle Bells! Is Jingle Bells even a Christmas song? I don't think they mention Christmas once in it. It's just a winter song. The elf house band curtain closes like the show is over, and Santa starts wrapping up. the show is not over. Elvis interrupts, asking Santa if he could sing a final warning to the children. The warning: Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Yeah, so does my stalker. That's not special.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry.
The voice of an angel. Elvis encourages Rudy to sing with him, and all of the others join in. I like that you can see Elvis's shadow in the ending lights. This leaves us with a beautiful music section. By 2006, the show had been consistently running for nearly 30 years, and the cosmetics were unfortunately showing their age. Santa's Village did try to fix up and replace cosmetics, but the level of quality was not great. You can see how much they've deteriorated, especially Satchmo's eyes. Who called that? With its age becoming more and more apparent, Santa's Village finally decided to officially refurbish the show. Instead of going to the still active creative engineering, they instead went to our friends at Advanced Animations. Whoop. Advanced Animations. Now, if you remember from the Circus World Jamboree video, Advanced Animations is in Bethel, Vermont. Right? Here. And you may notice that these two are clustered together, and that's most likely why Santa's Village would go to Advanced Animations instead of all the way down to Orlando. Before Advanced Animations could completely overhaul the entire show, Santa's Village opened for their 2009 season. But the show wasn't done, and Santa's Village needed something to go in the empty theater. Using the very few animatronics that were completed, they put together a hybrid live-action animatronic show, just for the 2009 season.
We are Santa's elves.
It was different. In 2010, the entire refurbishment of the original Jingle Bell Jamboree was finally completed. Overall, it's the exact same show. The show tape did not change. The animated movements were reprogrammed, the mechanisms replaced, recycled, and most obviously, cosmetics were updated. Creative engineering and advanced animations have very distinct styles, and both really shine through with their take on these characters. I'll leave you to your opinions, but I'm gonna share mine. People are too harsh on the creative engineering elves. They are ugly, but I don't think they're scary or evil looking. I get people's initial reactions. When you see them, you're kind of like, they're little creatures. They look very unique. You won't forget them. I get why their look was updated, because they ugly. Not to mention, Advanced Animations probably wouldn't have been able to make the elves look the same because they have very specific face molds. But my main gripe is with Advanced Animations Rudy. They moved his eyes to the front. How dare you? I can't find any footage of the Advanced Animations animatronics working in top shape, so they appear very stiff in footage. You gotta give them a little grace though, because I'm pretty sure they probably moved very well in 2010 and then nobody was fixing them. And in the end, I understand a lot of changes cosmetically that they made to the show, but it really does lose a lot of its 1977 charm. It's slow, deteriorating. It's definitely why the show was eventually removed. Alas, 2015 was the Jingle Bell Jamboree's final year. The 2016 season introduced a live stage performance in the theater where the animatronics were once installed, which is good if you're an employed actor there. Santa's Village has only continued to thrive. To this day, the grandchildren and great-grandchildren of the DuBois family run that park. It's a 4-generation run theme park, which honestly we don't get to see too often, and I love that. Santa's Village is filled to the brim with many attractions, and yet those who visited the park in the past are woeful of the absence of jolly animatronics. I actually did want to bring up that Santa's Village does have another animatronic by Creative Engineering, which was a Rudolph head. I'm thinking that Creative Engineering made the park that one animatronic of the deer head, and then when they wanted a show, they went back to Creative Engineering because they had a good experience with them. That's what I'm assuming.
Allegedly.
The decommissioned animatronics are currently at Santa's Village in storage. Maybe sometime in the future we'll see them again. They could pop up on an auction site, they could be reinstalled, or they could be put on display. For now, they're just being kept, and that is good enough. Better than the scrapyard. And that's our Animatronic Retrospective Christmas special. I'm Raya. Thank you for joining me this very jolly holiday season. You know how to keep up with me. You know how the internet works. And I do hope you join me again next year, too. Here's to another year of endings and just being. Being, not being. I didn't say being.